show. I'm Jen. I have a very special guest today, Terra, the founder of Hunkapi Programs. Thank you for being here and sharing your loveliness. Yeah. So tell us what Hunkapi is and how Hunkapi came about. Because I was fascinated when I met you and learned about this because it's down the street from where I live. Yeah. And I didn't even realize all the incredible things that you're doing. So share with everyone what it is and what you do.
It's a good question because I think I'm still learning what it is and what it's capable of being. It's turned into so much more than I thought it was ever going to be. In a short explanation, Hunkapi is an equine therapy program in Scottsdale, and we offer equine therapy, equine-assisted life skills, equine is horse, and therapeutic riding to the community. But it also is a space and a place, and it's a farm, and it's a working farm that houses horses that we think of as our co-workers and our healers. It houses rescue animals and grows gardens, and it provides a safe harbor for people to come in and just be and connect with themselves and nature and animals.
And you've opened it up for people to do events that obviously are in line with who you are. Maybe it's a yoga event or different fundraisers, things like that. So you've really opened it up to the community as well as to the people that you're treating.
That's really important to me as a founder because I know that horses aren't the only way for people to connect to their strengths and to who they are. We can do that on the yoga mat. We can do that by gardening. We can do that by learning about how food nourishes us and farm-to-table dinners. And maybe horses seem too big for you, but a goat or a dog is going to be something that you can connect to a lot more easily and feel safer with.
So I went through this whole fascinating process when I was there and met you for the first time. All of the animals, you talk about the equine and the horses and then the rescue animals. So give us a little bit of an idea of some of the variety that you have there.
It's gotten so broad now.
Yeah. And they all get along.
They all get along. I think that's one of my favorite things and one of the things that they've taught me over time, because I was so adamant that I wanted to stay focused on our purpose, and our purpose was giving horses to children in need. And that grew to giving adults horses as well, and people in need. But through different situations, and there's a lot of different situations, whether people were losing their home.
She'll take that pig.
Yes.
She'll take that chicken.
Yes, exactly. These animals would come to me and they needed homes, and I tried to put my foot down for a long time saying, no, I'm not a farm. We have horses, that's it. And then, the chickens were the first thing to make their way onto the farm that was outside of horses. And so we brought chickens in that were not being accepted by the rest of their flock at the place that they were at. They were actually at Sark. And so we brought 2 chickens in from them, and then that expanded to bringing more chickens in because we felt like 2 chickens needed more friends, and so we brought more friends in, and we adopted then a pig that needed a home because it was being left outside and not treated well, so we brought this pig in. And when I met the pig, I felt this immediate connection to him and felt like I've been waiting for this pig my whole life. It just was this soulful connection to him. We have a rescue cow that was found on the side of the road, just a couple hours old, and we took him in. And then most recently, we have brought in 2 goats that one of them was born stillborn and was rescued and came to us with anemia and pneumonia. And we've nursed him back to health. And then another goat that was also set to be a meat goat, and somebody rescued it, and then of course couldn't keep it in their condo. And so now it's at our house, our farm. So it's just beautiful though, because while it creates more work and more need, it also gives us more teaching opportunities, because in the morning the chickens and the pig and the goats all eat together and the dogs join them. So we have predator and prey eating all together in one space. We have a cow that thinks that he's, a horse and doesn't have another partner. And so he, has fallen in love with Hope, our horse. And it's really taught so much that is actually the life and soul of our program, which is we all need one another. That is what Hunkapi means. We can all learn and grow through our differences, and we need one another actually to be complete. And only having one type of species on our farm wasn't allowing me to see how predator and prey and different species can coexist with such peace and such compassion, such sharing, and harmony.
Mm-hmm. It brings more depth to the environment there.
Absolutely.
So you also just did a big project over there that really enhances the home and the environment for the horses too.
Yes.
So what did you just do there?
14 years in the making.
It's huge.
Yes, a big wait, a big fundraise, and a lot of community members coming together to get that done. So we just built a covered arena, and it's really going to allow us to serve more people and also work through inclement weather, which surprisingly, we haven't had really any monsoons this summer, but it's been extremely hot, and we had to shut down. We have to limit sessions when it's as hot as it was, and in the rain during the winter months, we cancel a lot of sessions. So this will allow us to provide a lot of continuous care without having to stop services for the kids and the adults that really need us.
That's great. Well, you're the founder. You hold and manage a lot of hats over there. So what is your outlet? Because I know from what I know of you, running is a big one, but being athletic and being outdoors and exploring is really important to you. Is that something that you've always, done as a kid or growing up and just translated now, or found this outlet? And why is it important to you?
I actually have been really active since I've been a kid. I wasn't really involved with organized sports, but I did have this sense of needing to move my body, and I would take my horses on jogs down the country roads in Illinois.
That's great.
So I would jog with them like a dog. Wow. Horses were my outlet, and they still are. Riding horses is still my outlet. But in order to get off the farm and just create some separation where my mind can be free to be creative, to move into flow, to decrease my stress levels. And I just say, I can't even start my day without having moved first. And it allows me to relate to people in a more normal way. I'm an avid runner, and in the past have been involved with triathlons, Ironman. I've done 3 of those. I've done many ultra marathons, and my latest endeavor has been marathon training with a goal of getting to Boston, which I finally did this year after 5 attempts.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and then it was canceled. So we'll see.
But they'll get you.
It'll get me in at some point. But yeah,
you share that with your husband.
Yes.
He does running and extreme kind of sports as well.
Yeah, he's an avid runner, and he actually inspired me to train for Boston, because our love story really started when I went to go cheer for him as he was running the Boston Marathon, and we were just friends at the time, and when I arrived to cheer him on, I had run a marathon and a few ultra marathons, but was really disinterested in running road marathons because I love nature. I want to be in the mountains. I want to be climbing mountains. I want to be running in the dirt. But when I felt the energy of Boston, the Boston Marathon specifically, it was unlike anything I had ever felt. It is contagious. It's so inspirational, and all I could think is someday I want to be running. I want to be on that road running. I don't want to be out here with all the crowds, and riding trains to meet people. So he inspired me actually to train
That's
for
great.
it.
It is a pretty special run. I actually went to cheer on a friend of mine, and it was the year of the bombing that happened.
My.
So the emotions obviously were super intense, and that's a whole story for another time.
Yeah.
But just hearing about the race and the roads and the way that it is pretty intense, and that accomplishment is huge. So congratulations on getting to that point. So with all of the impactful things that you do, is there a story that resonates the most with you? And it's not to say that all of them aren't wonderful. Is there one, though, that stands out more than the rest?
You know, there are so many, and I feel fortunate that I get to really witness miracles every day. But I had a client that was a collegiate football player, was a triathlete, and in his young 30s, he actually had a stroke at the finish line of a triathlon. And he had significant paralysis afterwards and was unable to speak. And so his mom brought him to us. And we put him on a horse, and I remember looking at his eyes through his glasses and under the helmet at one point, and he couldn't even sit up on the horse the first time that we put him up there. His mom was really actually shocked that I put him on a horse, but we did. And I realized by looking at his eyes that he was actually understanding everything that I was saying to him. He just couldn't respond to me. And I made a promise to him that I was going to press him as hard as I could, as long as he would let me. And we proceeded to work together twice a week, and he got to the point where he could sit up and ride the horse by himself. Wow. And I was also doing a lot of somatic work at the time and understanding how trauma gets trapped in the body, and really working with him to help release some of the trauma from the incident. And eventually, a couple of years ago, we ended up pulling him off the horse and asking him to begin walking to his wheelchair, and really having to mindfully talk about, like, I need you to lift your knee up, now place your heel down. Like, every single movement within the walk, we had to begin teaching and asking him to bring awareness to that. And one of my last sessions with him, I actually completed a triathlon, and he met me at the finish line. And with the help of one of my co-facilitators, he walked across the finish line with me.
Wow.
And so that was one of I will remember that for the rest of my life. And understanding how the movement of the horse allowed him to get stronger, more flexible,
more confident,
and the power of the will to heal the body. And he was such an excellent teacher for that.
Wow, that's pretty incredible. And you're doing that with so many people throughout, like you said, all the time, every day. But it also sounds like maybe it resonated a little more special because he had the triathlete as well, and you saw how he was injured and then was able to push himself. And
he was still a competitor. His spirit was a competitor, regardless of being bound into a wheelchair. You know, so.
Well, the community, I know, appreciates everything that you do, and thank you for sharing who you are and what you're doing in the community through Hunkapi.
Thank you.
And the people that you're benefiting and the animals that you're helping too. So
it's my honor.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time on Now with Jen.